All right, so Lux, Shen, mid-range. Oh, one more reminder. If you are watching for Magic and you're going to hang out, F5, refresh your stream really quick, and the Runeterra overlay will come up. You can even mouse over cards in my deck editor here using that overlay, which is great. Lux is one of our 2 champions here, who is a 4/5 for 6, who has a barrier when she comes into play, which is really nice. Generally speaking, you can almost always untap with this unless your opponent has multiple things to kind of work through both her barrier and her health total. Her level up conditions when she's seen us cast 6+ total mana worth of spells. She turns into a slightly bigger champion that creates more final sparks. And then the final spark is kind of a tractor beam. Deals 4 damage to an enemy. And notably, this spell has overwhelm, which is similar to trample. So if you kill a smaller toughness enemy with this, the extra damage goes over to the opponent's nexus. Shen is our other champion, so when he attacks, he gives his supported ally a barrier. So in this game, the order in which you attack with your units matter. So support gives the ally to the right of this attacker a benefit, and then he levels up when he's seen 4 barriers applied. And then his leveled form, in addition to being slightly stronger, also gives your barriered allies a little bit of extra attack, which is nice. The rest of the deck is slightly aggressively slanted. We've got things like Fleet Feather Tracker, as well as Laurent Protege, which use the Challenger mechanic to force things to block them. These are basically units that are pseudo removal spells. And these Challenger units that force things to block them pair really well with Shen giving things barriers, as well as things like War Chefs giving their supported ally +1/+1. Yeah, very similar to Provoke. Normally, combat in this game, for people that are new, works similar to Magic, where you declare an attacker and then they declare a blocker, but the Challenger mechanic kind of breaks that rule and lets you force things to block your units. So let's go ahead and pop on into some games here with this and see how it goes. For people that haven't seen this before, Runeterra uses a linear resource progression similar to Hearthstone, where each turn you gain a resource and replenish all your resources. However, unlike Hearthstone, both players are playing every single turn, and every turn both players gain a resource and replenish their resources. Opponent is playing Teemo Jinx, so this tells me that my opponent's likely playing an aggressive deck. Definitely want to mulligan my Fun of 9-drop against an aggro deck. Back-to-back, also not fantastic. We're looking for mulligan some of our cheaper cards. You do partial mulligan to this game so we can keep the cards that are good and mulligan to the ones that aren't. The fact that you get to see what champions your opponent is playing to predict what kind of archetype they're on lets you make intelligent mulliganing decisions before the game even starts. Adds a ton of tactical depth and strategic value to the gameplay, in my opinion. Runeterra is probably the highest level of player agency card game I've ever played, personally. Player agency, for those not familiar with that term, means that the individual decisions you make inside the game tend to impact the outcome of the games. Teemo here is one of their champions. He's elusive, which means I can only block with other elusive units, similar to flying. Every time he hits us, you saw the mushroom animation there, he loads puff caps up into our deck. Puff caps get attached to cards in our deck, and when we draw a card with a puff cap on it, we take some damage. Now, decisions that you have to make in this game are, if you play a unit, it can attack the turn you play it. However, if I play a unit here, my opponent gets a chance to play more units of their own before I declare attackers. So even though things can attack right away, oftentimes, in fact, it's right to start by attacking so your opponent doesn't have a chance to develop their board. I'm going to go ahead and attack with these. This gives its supported ally +1/+1, so it'll power this up. And if I want to verify that that's what's going to happen, I can mouse over the eye, and it shows me here that if combat happens and they don't block, this gets bigger, and then my opponent will take 5. So I'll declare these as attackers. they'll declare blockers. You can see here, as they make decisions, if I mouse over the eye, what's going to happen gets updated on the screen. At this current point in time, I am not planning to invest energy into putting up dedicated Runeterra deck pages. There is a Runeterra page generically on my website that hosts all of the Runeterra videos that are up on my YouTube channel. So if you go under the videos tab, that's present there. But I'm not planning to, like, hand curate Runeterra deck lists like I have been for Magic at the moment, no. I'm gonna go ahead and play Bright Steel Protector and put a barrier on here. As always, just like with Magic stuff, all of the decks that I play have deck lists in the video description. Maybe I should have barriered my elusive, because now Teemo gets to get through here, which is annoying.
Armed and ready. I am one with the land.
So this has Challenger now. So Teemo levels up when he when they've put 15 puff caps into my deck. So this Mushroom Cloud is gonna level their Teemo here in a minute. That being said, I get to go ahead and barrier this Challenger unit, and then I'm gonna get to Challenger hook this Teemo, which is nice. Can get rid of that. Ink Sense they killed. There is a hard limit of 6 units on your bench. If you want to play another unit out while you have 6 already there, you have to get rid of one of them. I think I want to pump up my elusive friend here. So this has a hook, so we can force Teemo to block here. They'll probably level him up, but his leveled up form is only a 2/2, so this will still eat this. This has a barrier, so it's not going to die. And again, I can mouse over and see that my thing will live and their Teemo will die. I don't expect them to go to 2 because they're going to declare some blockers here. They block like this. Their board dies. I keep 3 things. They take 6. Decent exchange for us. Let's see if they have anything here. Oh yeah, I need to grab the prime loot. Oh, that's an interesting thought. I could not play the elusive because these get cheaper when my things die. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, it's close. Pressuring their life total is important here. It definitely feels like we're racing. I think I'm just passing for now. I want to hold up this barrier card to protect my Shadow Assassin in case they try to kill it. Keeping Teemo from hitting me seems important. Yep, they're gonna Mushroom Cloud me here, which levels up their Teemo. It's fine. Remembrance gets cheaper for each thing that dies. Let's go ahead and do this. This summons a random 5-cost Demacia unit, which usually these are 5/5s. This is the Scout mechanic. So the first time you attack each turn, if you only attack with the Scout unit, you get a second combat, which is nice. Something that you'll note here, I don't think I've talked about spell mana yet. In addition to gaining a mana and replenishing your mana each turn, you can also bank mana across turns in this game, which leads to a lot of strategic depth and makes it so the tempo loss that frequently happens in games like Magic and Hearthstone in the early turns isn't as present in this game, which is really nice. Yeah, maybe I should just attack and hook there. That's a good thought. I gave them a chance to have another blocker now, and they are loading up a lot of puff caps into my deck.
Illuminate the enemy.
Fly away while you can.
There actually aren't alt art cards in this game yet. Oh, also, I should have hooked this, right? So that way this was forced to chump my 5/5, because the mushroom peddler is the one I'd like to get rid of here. Yeah, I had some slops. This game was pretty far from optimal. That being said, if they don't open on attacks here, I get to Remembrance. Oh, actually, now we'll just stand united, right? Oh, that's annoying. Let's Remembrance. When this happens, Lux will level up.
Better, brighter than before.
So the cosmetics in this game so far are your pet and the game board. Yep, Y-Sticks, if you need to refresh because Twitch doesn't automatically switch it over. So if you are here for Magic, just F5 your stream and you'll get a mouse over overlay. Charging laser. Oh gosh. If this Teemo high rolls, we could die here. When the leveled up Teemo, he's gonna put 46 puff, so there's gonna be 46 puff caps. Final Spark can only hit the enemy. Alright, so if there are 10 puff caps on the top card of my deck, we die here. Unlikely, 0 puff caps. You'll love to see it. it would be an extreme high roll. We're pretty likely to win there.
The superior tactic is to never give up.
Never give up, chat. I was actually playing this deck a bit off stream last night. Had a pretty good run with it. I like mid-range decks, chat. They're fun. Opponent is playing Ione Noxious here, which is an aggressive deck. I'm gonna mulligan Lux. This is definitely my favorite Lux deck, Cody. The mobile client on this game is excellent. In fact, when I said I was playing off stream last night, I was playing on my cell phone. Oh yeah, you have emotes too. Ooh, that's a decent pickup. So the championless deck here is an aggressive deck usually. For those not familiar with this game too, if you're thinking about getting into it and you're wondering how much does it cost, the opponent's deck is probably 10 or 15 bucks to build. There's no predatory booster packs in this game. You literally buy in-game currency and craft exactly the cards you want. The most expensive card type to buy outright are champions, and they cost $3, and there's a hard limit of 6 champions in any given deck. So most competitive decks in this game top out at costing $20 to $25. The theoretical maximum of what a deck can cost in this game, I think, is like 60 bucks. It doesn't make sense from a strategic perspective to include that many epic rarity cards in most decks.
Order rewards its faithful.
Yeah, people that free to play the game have said that the free to play is incredibly generous. People that are familiar with me know that I don't really free to play any games, so I've put dollars in to have a pretty complete collection to stream with. Started following for Magic. Glad to see you're enjoying Legends of Runeterra. Best wishes to you. Thanks, Kryl. I really appreciate the support. I've been enjoying Runeterra too. It's been a lot of fun.
Explosives primed.
See if they open on attacks here or not. So I think I'm gonna give this a barrier, which makes this bigger. We'll block this here, we'll block this here. We take 5 down to 9. Kind of getting run down here. Remembrancing this turn could be a play too.
I am one with the land.
Can see that being okay.
Let me show you what I can do. Night falls.
Our hand is super clunky here. Drawn an unfortunate number of our 6 drops. Can bank 3 of this 5 mana at least, but gonna lose 2 of it. It might be right to just single combat these 2, honestly.
Remember the objectives.
I think we're probably dead here. I think the comment about using Remembrance the previous turn was probably correct. It would have allowed me to have a much better board state. Sort of seeing some of the issue there with trying to enable Lux in your deck. You know, Lux demands that you have these 6+ mana spells or expensive spells to enable her, but then you're going to have some games like that where you just get clunked up. Could have possibly made better decisions to be in a better spot there, but ultimately I'm not really sure it mattered. Is there any chance of a Runeterra open happening? Not at this current point. Maybe somewhere down the line, especially if they wanted, especially if they had a replay client, that'd be something I would want to explore. Darius here is another aggressive champion. A mulligan, look, keep my cheaper plays and mulligan these.
No one's the wiser. These woods protect their own. This'll shake up. Stay back! Damn it.
I haven't really felt like it's necessary to play Radiant Guardian in this deck. I think making changes to my deck after the last match we just played is very knee-jerky, and in my experience, the aggressive matchups with this deck tend to be pretty okay. Like, your deck's definitely susceptible to just, like, having too many expensive things in the aggressive matchup sometimes, but I think on average, we already have a number of very cheap effects that give us reasonable chances in those matches.
Ride on! Ride for Noxus!
It's too late for you.
Sure, and I'm telling you, my experience with the deck is, on average, I don't feel like I need extra help against aggro.
Look what you did.
He says as he gets bodied by aggro for a second time.
Break their spirits and their swords!
For the Empire.
That's super unfortunate.
Hardly fair.
Oh, this hurts.
open on attacks this turn and kill us.
Run him down!
Cannot escape.
Very, very powerful card here. Stuns this, and this has Overwhelm, so... Did I stream today? I don't see anything on YouTube. I'm gonna assume that a comment that stupid... I'm gonna assume that a comment that stupid has to be someone asking for a complimentary timeout, right? Like, it has to be, right? Yeah. I don't know what to do with it otherwise. I'm just gonna go with that. Rom Vladimir. Something probably a little bit mid-rangey. Actually, I think this hand's pretty good. I'm just gonna keep all of them. You should... One of the things that's very important, Panda Ninja, I think it's good to show people, is that it is not the individual player's job to make Magic enjoyable for other people. So if you enjoy playing Nexus and you enjoy playing Reclamation or Teferi, do it. Play the cards that you like playing. Don't let my not enjoyment of something impact you personally. It's not your job to make the game fun for me.
Advent, come here, handsome.
Hello, dear. What have you got us into now?
Silent as death.
It's nothing personal.
I think we're just skipping blocks. I don't really want to block this and give them a freebie. Correct. It's Wizards of the Coast job to make the game fun. Hey, thanks for the year and a half, Jimmy. I appreciate it. Welcome back.
Come, Clara, we have much to teach you.
I can't wait. I will play my
Hardly fair.
If they don't break, they'll burn. For the glory of Noxus.
Deciding if they want to open attacks here or not. Braum is pretty good. Unfortunately, don't have mana saved up. Something, too, that I've been thinking about, if we think about how my early turns have played out in this deck, it's very possible I'm not banking spell mana aggressively enough.
Good luck. Have fun.
Banking spell mana early would make these 6 mana spells a lot less clunky a lot of the time. Hey, Arpai, thanks for the 3/4 year. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
It must be done.
So this can hook something. We'll hook the 2/2. Shen's gonna barrier this, and this will turn into a 5. And then this is elusive. And then I have back-to-back as a combat trick here. So I think this attack is okay for us.
Fine. Fine. But I'm rich.
You are safe with Braum.
You have 4 cards in hand, and generally speaking, their decks play a lot of combat tricks. So I'm kind of expecting them to have like a transfusion or a burst or something here. If they have a way to give this +2 toughness, it's going to survive, which will be a little bit awkward. Yeah.
My friend, nature blesses her followers.
Brahm's getting pretty close to leveling here.
You must be Lord Vladimir.
And you must be.
So we have 8 mana total here, so we can Unyielding Spirit, which is nice. We also have 7 non-spell mana, so we could Green Glade plus Lux potentially as well. Each attacking ally deal 1 damage hit and 1 to the enemy nexus.
Fun, yes?
So we're gonna take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 automatically just from Vlad's triggers. That's quite a bit. Does Vlad level off this attack? Yes. So it'll be a 6/6.
I need the reputation.
Such rich blood.
Nature blesses her followers.
We each defend our brethren. Like our friends did though. We should be friends. Let it flow.
So this swaps 2 things and gives them barriers. So I get to do this, which says swap this, and this will become a 5.
Walk between realms.
Because I applied 2 barriers. And then this has a barrier, so we can put him in front of something.
This is my opponent.
Then I can put Shen here. I can trade this here.
Lands.
I can have this block here, and this is going to deal 1 to it. So I'm going to 6. Their board is dying. I'm keeping a good chunk of my stuff. Obviously, they have 4 cards and 4 mana, so, like, they could have stuff here, but this is pretty okay at a glance. They have 3 cards right now. They're getting 1 more. Perhaps, I think I actually messed this up here. Maybe I should have swapped this one in front of the Braum, so that way the higher attack one was in front of there. More likely to take Braum off the table. Although this way I'm trading for Vladimir, which is nice. Although the putting it the other way would have let me keep the higher power Green Glade Caretaker. Just so many permutations. Turn to turn in this game.
Look what you did.
Lord and master.
Nature blesses her followers. Oh, this hurts.
Single combat is a great draw.
Let the light guide you.
Our wills align. Don't get back.
Let me show you what I can do.
Blood isn't a toy, dear. People are. It must be done.
Can we attack like this? I guess I could attack with this too and hook this over here. It's probably fine. Just get casual 12-2.
Let's get a good look at you.
This one's mine.
Hopefully this single combat here, making 2 things fight, will blow out any potential combat tricks they have here. There are infinite combos in this game. I don't actually know the answer to that question. There's definitely some finite combos in the game. Do I single combat Lux and this? Would I rather save Lux or would I rather save Shen? I think I'd rather save Shen. Actually, I could fight these here, and then this will trade for both of these, basically. I think that's the play.
Nature blesses her followers.
Great.
I've dressed for the occasion in red.
Twitch Mobile was bugged and showed me your stream as hosting someone else despite what your schedule said. I was not trolling, I promise. Weird. Sorry, Sky. Get your sword back. Thanks for the biddies.
Bottoms up.
This is my choice. Lights out.
So they're dead to open attacks next turn, right? Shen's gonna support this and give it a barrier, which will make an attack for 5 here.
I find them unworthy. You fought with honor.
Yeah, that was a good game, for sure. Midrange decks tend to just generate such good gameplay when they're competitive. A lot of back and forth, good decisions. Another aggro day on the ladder, chat. A lot of people trying to move up real quick. Seeing super reasonable in an aggressive matchup, he says before he draws his 1/9 drop.
Hang on, Buzzball.
Hey, flavor and spice.
Full speed ahead.
Who does not know the name Laurent?
Who does not know the name Laurent? The Laurent protege.
Fuse is lit. Batter 'em.
Eat up, friend.
Hang on, sir.
Single combat's not a terrible pickup.
Let none disturb my meditation. The dark beckons.
They picked the wrong row.
I am one with the land. I need no weapon.
I think especially with Spirit Refuge here, I'm gonna go ahead and just take this hit. I will eventually have Challenger. This will give this an extra attack, which is nice. It's very possible I want a second Spirit Refuge in this deck. Card's very good. Aren't we able to? So you are able to attack as you play a card. However, if you play a non-burst spell if you play a fast spell that like kills something, for example, your opponent will be able to block. Your opponent will be able to block your stuff, basically. They'll be able to block with the things that you're trying to kill.
I'll try anyone once. Fast as wind, light as air.
Do you want to play out Blade Scout pre-combat? Probably.
Silent as death. I need no weapon. You cannot escape. It's too late for you.
Oh, that one doesn't give 3 attack. I don't know why I had 3 attack on my brain. That's fine. My Challenger can still finish this off next turn. My play is less good. I mixed up that with the other one. The other 4 mana one gives 3 attack. Yeah, 3 attack is riposte. Pretty decent exchange for us overall. These get cleared out. We gain 2. This goes down to 1 toughness. Oh, you're right. Yeah, because Shen, I had flipped Shen last time. That's what I was like, I had 3 attack in my brain from somewhere. You're super right. Yeah, it had leveled Shen last time. Down to 8. Hopefully they play something worth denying here so we get to use some mana. Runeterra starter code to show up free stuff. You have Amazon Prime there next to your name. There's a couple of, if you link your Prime account, you get some previews with that. This is trying to unsummon their thing here. I'm gonna have them fight in response. So fast spells build up a stack in the middle. It's similar to what you're playing, similar to what you may be familiar with if you're one of my Magic viewers. The difference here being that once the stack starts resolving, the entire stack resolves. So you don't get a chance to like let the top thing resolve and then respond before the second one happens. This makes the rate of play a lot smoother. You can see here, they tried to bounce their thing, I tried to kill it, they tried to kill it to hurt me, I denied their thing. And I can see here, okay, if I deny this, what does the stack look like? Okay, if everything just happens, I stay at 8, they take 6 of these die. So the eye always knows. It'll always tell you what's going to happen. Click. Thank you for the third of you. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Well, I got to keep my thing at least.
Let none disturb my meditation. You're covered.
Give my elusive ally a barrier here, so that way when they attack with this, I have a free block. Yeah, the eye is really well done. All the software surrounding her. The only software complaint I have about Runeterra is their deck editor is a little bit lackluster, but I'm sure that will improve with time.
Fast as wind, light as air. You cannot escape.
Woo! Nine drop. Ugh. So I think with Unyielding Spirit being reduced to a with this being reduced to a fast spell from burst, I think I'm gonna cut this. I think I'd like another Spirit Refuge. I feel like with all the aggro that's been running around lately, having another way to give lifesteal sounds really good. Maybe this is slightly too many with Riposte tier 2, but been pretty happy with this card when we've drawn it so far. Was this deck submitted pre-patch? Yes. So Johnny Misfortune. This is a mid-rangey deck that sometimes has an aggressive, usually has an aggressive slant to it. I think we're definitely mulliganing these. I'm gonna keep the Remembrance. This might be a turn 3 Remembrance game. We're on the play. Yes, yeah, MTG Bot has Runeterra cards. Do I play this, or do I just hold? I think I'm just going to hold for the turn 3 Remembrance. So again, the way spell mana in this game works, you can bank up to 3 mana. So if you skip plays on your first 2 turns of the game, you can play a 6 mana spell on turn 3.
My selection speaks for itself. Grog if you will, burn if you don't. You picked the losing side.
Do I want to trade this for one of their 2/1s? I feel like the answer is no.
Let's get to it.
we're going 1-drop into Shen this turn. Shen giving something a barrier will power this up, and we'll be able to barrier one of our challenger units here.
Requires a
Get slightly better attacks.
Get bloody, get paid.
sense an imbalance.
I don't think I want to attack with this. I guess if I trade for that, I'm pretty okay with it. Well, this is going to get pretty big pretty quickly.
Intruders!
They do have 6 mana here, so we could see a block on here, plus a trick.
Son of a... My grove!
They stole our remembrance. That's brutal. Nabbing some cards off our deck.
My shield is yours!
The king could protect those who keep the balance.
Just show me an ally in need. I'll be there.
Always forward.
This is my choice.
There is no dispute.
Return me to the sea.
The dead don't need riches.
My life for these lands.
Close my eyes, make it fair.
Press on. The order rewards its faithful. Silent as death.
Enforced equilibrium.
I'm attacking like this to encourage them to block my Lux. Then we can give her Lifesteal Barrier, which lets me level up Shen. We have a deal too, they can finish her, but it's not really a big deal.
Who's on top of the bounty board today?
Yeah, the psychology on things like Nab really cracks me up. People really hate their cards getting taken. It's kind of funny.
No prey.
Just have like this very irrational hatred of it.
I've got your back. Set sail.
Boys.
Protect and strike.
The king could go where they are needed.
Pushing my limits.
I agree with that, Zigzag. I think the power level errata where they made Nab worse against, or they made it not busted against that is fine. I don't know. I think the people hating it after they changed it to the bottom of the deck are pretty unreasonable.
Mwah.
Give her the laser here. I guess my favorite animation in the game. It's so great. Thud. I love this side drop. I don't know if this card's actually good, but it's definitely hilarious. Oh no! Oh no! Wait, he gives us a barrier when we attack too, right? Wow, that worked out.
Enforced equilibrium.
Lucky! Lucky! If you are gonna play with the shark, I would recommend attempting to be luckier than our opponent was there. Our current rank, I have no idea. I think we're gold. I don't know. I don't really keep track. I also don't play a ton off stream. Probably something mid-rangey. I think I'm gonna mulligan everything except the tracker here. From a visual perspective, Runeterra is the most visual stunning card game I've ever played. It's very, very well done. The support cards with the challenger units is so fantastic. Love that synergy. And again, we want to order this so this is first and this is second, so it gets one from the support. Oh yeah, that's true. I always forget. Yeah, there's a rank command that the mods keep updated. So if you ever want to see our current rank in whatever game we're playing, you type !rank in chat. Thanks, Silence.
I need just a moment.
Mods are great. So my opponent just passed priority there, and the way this game works, if they pass and you pass, you just go to the next turn. So happy to pass back to myself there. Shen's gonna get to give this Fleet Feather Tracker a barrier, and then we're gonna get to challenge the crap out of this, which is great. A 5-power unit, destroy all things with 4 power less. How about if we didn't stop trying to kill my stuff? So when these trade here, their card doesn't do anything. And then this is actually an interesting question. Would I rather get 1 more damage from having War Chef support this, or would I rather get a barrier deployed? I think I'd rather miss a damage to get an extra barrier count on this so I can level this up sooner.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
Huh?
You're covered.
Duty, selfless.
I'm gonna do this so they don't have a good attack this turn. Oh, they gave Shen vulnerable. That's unfortunate. This means they can force him to block now.
Strength and grace, beauty in the blade.
Show me a target.
The Kinku. Feel the sin. Eat up, friend.
They have another frostbite here. This could go sideways for us. But I like opening on attacks here.
The time is right. Strike now.
We're gonna hope to open on attacks and kill them next turn.
They're out there. I'll spot them.
Yeah, that round definitely like went okay for us. Like I said, we're definitely the beatdown at the moment. Maybe that my sequence here is actually wrong. Maybe I'm supposed to hold that remembrance for post Lux, so I can generate a final spark with it.
Avarosa, guide me.
Summon frostbite enemies with 3 health or less. Yikes. So they're getting an arrow on top of their deck. This is going to frostbite this when it attacks, so I should play Lux here, so this way they don't have a decent attack. Because if they attack with this, they'll frostbite this, and then Lux eats their ash.
For the homestead.
Ash Lux control. That sounds sweet.
Shine with me.
Yeah, definitely opening on attacks here.
Batter 'em. No one goes hungry.
Lead the target.
This is one that gives 3 attack, right? Oh, you know what? I probably should have done that here, so that way I diversified a little bit. That's fine, got him. That. Got some extra prizes. I think I'm pretty happy with this one. We only played for about an hour, but I kind of like to end on high notes. I feel like we just had two pretty good sets back to back. If you haven't seen this deck before, last time we played it was pre-patch, but we played this once before, and the only card that changed in it was the 8 mana spell that we cut. So you can find more gameplay with this deck, as well as gameplay with lots of other Runeterra decks up on my YouTube channel. I'm going to go ahead and be done for today. Christy, Haley did not sleep a lot last night, so I want to not run too long so I can give my wife a chance to nap, since she's been with her overnight and into today. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow morning with some more magic into Runeterra again, as always. For people looking for the deck code for this deck, you can always find my current deck list on my mobile Linux page. I update it there while I'm streaming. You can also find it on the overlay as well during the games. It'll also be in the YouTube video description once that's uploaded in a little bit. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your Monday wherever you're at in the world, and thanks for hanging out today. Peace, folks. Oh, and if you're a sub survey went out last night. If you're a sub who loves Runeterra, let me know on the survey that if you love Runeterra. That's how I kind of balance my content. Feedback on there. If you're a sub who hates Runeterra, I'm not sure why you'd still be here, but let me know that as well. I want to make sure that the content that I'm making lines up with what the people who pay me want to see. Peace.